All right, this is day 5. Jake here is our new team member, and the agency gave us this light bar and said, "Oh, I want to use this light bar." So there's no power cord going out of the light bar, so we're tearing into the light bar, and it looks like the power source was right there, but there's no plug for it to run out. So we're trying to figure this out. Honestly, I think it's more time consuming than it's worth, but this is what the agency wanted to use. We're going to see if we can make it work. Otherwise,
you know, it's epoxied.
Yeah, in it, probably nothing on the back.
Nope.
So we're going to have to figure out if we can wire this thing or not and make it useful, or if it's going to be worth doing. I would prefer to put on a new LED light bar, which would, you know, you're looking at $800 to $1,000 for an inexpensive one. Or Jake had an idea, actually buying LEDs and mounting them in here, which might work. I don't know. Anyway, we got the turret on. It's up there. This is the very beginning of day 5. We got lots of stuff to do. So stay tuned as we move on. All right, this is my project today. Hooking up their going to be a scene light slash backup light, and they're LED, and they wanted that one mounted so it's shining at a 45 degrees. So if they're making a backing turn, there's one over here, it'll light up an area where they're turning into, which makes sense to me. Something I'm doing, we're using these heat shrink connectors, and then this is something new. I don't know if you guys have used this before, but it's an expandable wire protector, and it's pretty cool, and it's pretty tough. It's weaved, and as you put that in there, you expand it and contract it, and it's to protect this wire from chafing. It's different than the standard loom we've been using. It's flat and then just expands into a circle, and I've got some on this one here. And you can see here, and then I'll connect all the wires. They're going to go underneath and then to the backup, and then there'll be an isolator, so when you flip the switch in the cab, it'll back up. You'll run these lights as scene lights instead of backup lights, and it'll isolate the backup beeper so you don't hear that. Done it one other truck, on my truck actually, for my agency. So now that's where we're at. I'm going to wire up this light and then connect them all together and get them down there. So far, I've been testing them with this as I go, and everything's looking good. So that's where we're at. Herb's repairing the front bumper. All right, this is what Herb was working on. So this bumper was all bent to crap, and put this in there. It's a square tubing. It'll give it some bulk and something to mount the forestry nozzle to that the customer wants. So forestry nozzle will mount to that. Turned out really good, and a lot more stout than that bent up bumper. So there you go. That's Herb's job right there. All right, excuse me, voice is going. So I'm going to close out day 5. I got the lights mounted up there. Everything's got channel down here. Everything's connected under there. I got the wires. Got this all mounted here, the backup light. So these backup and side lights are going to be scene lights as well. I'm working on how I'm going to mount these. That's what I'm contemplating right now. Obviously I got to clean them up, paint them, all the other crap, but I'm thinking of the best way would get to this mounted up to that frame on this side, because it's different than the LMTV, and then mount this on the outside with the mud flap hanging here. So I'm just kicking that one around. We got some more wiring to do over here. I've got the bracket all figured out. Everything's going to hook up to the backup light. We have the isolator, so we can use the scene lights and not trigger the backup alarm. And this is the other side that I'm figuring out how I'm going to mount this because of the bracketing underneath here. So I got to weigh the option of what's going to be easier. Welding another piece on there, it's aluminum, so we'd have to find some aluminum angle iron and then weld it and drill it and tap it. Or do I just notch that out there and mount this on the outside, and then this will flush mount right here. So that's what I'm thinking about. Did get the turret on. Get this, so Herb went to go buy bolts for the turret. Went local because we tried to shop local. There's the turret. The bolts, 12 of them we need. They're metric. They wanted over $5 a piece at the local store, and that's ridiculous. So Herb's got to go to Spokane this afternoon. He is gonna go to a bolt supply place there and pick up some bolts, and we'll get that bolted on. Also, the light bar that I showed you at the beginning, we talked to the owner of this build, and they said no, don't work on it. So we ordered a new light bar, LED, low profile. That's going to go on there, and waiting for that to come in. So it'll probably be a week. And so yeah, baby steps, a little bit at a time. The other thing we did is we got a battery tender that we're going to hook up so they can have it plugged in. That's about it. Got a lot done today. Also got the emergency lights. Also started getting the emergency lights on. They wanted 2 on the side, so there's going to be one there, and then another one underneath the door, the same style. And then we got the 2 in the back. That got done today, right here. Those are all mounted. Jake was working on that today, and then the other one on the side. Those will all be tied in, and then another one under the door up here. The bumper that Herb was working on, that is going well, and it's going to be a shorter profile, so it's going to come out a little bit and then straight up, and they want it just below the window here. It's going to be a forestry nozzle, and this really beefed it up. It's the tubing rather than this, and this was all bent in, looked like it had been in a wreck, so he got that all welded up. Yeah, that's about it for today. Quite a bit done. We'll be at it again tomorrow. So stay tuned with the progress. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for checking in.